In the name of Allah and Ali, Islam to all. Join the MST. You should hear about birthrights and nationality, for you are not Negroes or what you claim to be. In the name of Allah and Ali, Islam.
So there is, you know.
So when we say that we're black, for example, right? What does black describe? An object. What does color describe? An object. What does Negro describe? Object. Because Negro is Spanish for black. So whether they call you black, whether they call you Negro, they're still calling you black.
Well, you see, I deal with humanity.
Right.
I deal with humanity.
Right.
And that's what. That's
and in order for us to deal with humanity, we have to be humane ourselves. Right?
Get back to. Let's get back to.
Right.
Let me save this for later.
Right.
Let me get back.
It's all relative.
Our break. Yeah, no, it's all relative.
No, this is good. No, this is a good dialogue.
Yeah. That is why I brought it up.
Yeah, man, good.
Because but let's get back to.
So,
yes.
From a law perspective, right? When we look up, so this is Black's Law Dictionary, 8th edition.
Notes.
Right?
Black's Law Dictionary.
If you go to Supreme Court right down there, this is what the judge has next to him when they're sending people to jail and all that type of stuff. Like, this is what they use.
What's it called?
Black's Law Dictionary. And this has nothing to do with black people.
No.
It's just called Black's Law Dictionary. Right? So in here, we're going to look up color. So we're called color people by those people who are inflicting injustices on us. They would say we're colored people. And then we would go with it like, okay, I guess I'm a colored person based on our...
Denying us justice.
Right?
Denying us justice.
Okay. Color. Appearance. Guise or semblance. The appearance of a legal claim to a right, authority, or office. An apparent but legally insufficient right or ground of action admitted in a defendant's pleading to exist for the plaintiff. And then it goes into all these different types of color stuff. So it says express color, implied color, colorable, colorable alteration, color of office, color of law, color of authority, color of organization, color of books, color of transaction, color of transfer, color of imitation tests, color of deviation, color of claim, color of process, color of title. So once color is applied to ourselves, we're saying that we're fake.
Where do you get a book like that?
You can get this at any bookstore. It's going to cost you about $150.
Oh, so you don't get it, you have to buy it.
Right.
Virgin,
Right.
I didn't really come here to interrupt the
No,
conversation,
no.
but I like the vibes, you know.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
like the,
You're not interrupting at all, don't worry.
so I just points
All
of
of it is
interest,
relative.
points of interest.
All of it is
To assure
relative.
you,
Yes.
Virgin, perfect.
Right. All of it is
Everything
I
relative.
hope I don't take
No,
you
no,
guys
you're
off
not,
the track.
man.
Not at all,
Trust me.
not at all.
This is what
No.
needs to happen. We need to clear things up.
That's it.
Because a lot of people are like, okay, yeah, I know my history, what do we do now? But do you really know your history? What foundation is your pyramid based on? Or your house, so that the fruits can
Grow.
grow and healthy. Right.
Beer.
I just wanted to throw in one thing
Yeah.
back on the issue of color. In law, colorability means that on the face of something, it's saying one thing, but beneath it, it's a complete different thing. So
Right.
in law, we say, well, if a law is colorable, it means that one government is saying, well, I'm enacting this for such and such a purpose, but really in practice, it's not playing out how it
How it's
how
supposed
it
to
is
play
on the
out.
surface.
Right.
So that's what colorability,
Right.
you know what I mean?
Right.
How that plays into
Yes.
into the law. So I just
Right.
want that out.
Right? So, and that's how they trap us. Because once we say that we're black, whether we say it out of our mouth or whether somebody says, yo, black guy, and you go like this, you just consented.
But then again, if somebody said, oh, white guy, you probably look around too.
Right, and then that comes down to, the question of, well,
Yeah.
if we say, what color is this?
White.
Anybody see anybody that looks like this ever before?
No.
Nobody's ever seen anybody that looks like this,
I do.
right? Like there's not somebody that looks like this. Like this is what white is. Just like this is what black is.
But I just want to make a statement.
Yeah.
The reason because it's in art. Art say white and black is just a shade. So anything else is a color range, and that color range is so potent that the appearance is the dark, which
Right.
you consider as black,
Right.
which is a shade.
Exactly. But again, it comes back to the same thing, that when they say, what color are you? If white and black are shades, that means they're not colors. So if somebody says, what color are you? And you say that, well, I'm black or I'm white, you obviously don't even have the capacity to think from this basic perspective, much less give you reparations. Like, how am I going to give you reparations and you think that you're paper? Or you think that you're a jacket? Like, the civilized world is going to ridicule you, laugh at you, make fun of you, take advantage of you, just for the simple fact that you don't know yourself.
The identity of this jacket is not black. It's a jacket.
Just like the identity of a black man is a man. Like he's
Not the black.
He's not black. If you ask shoes, black shoes, what are you? You're gonna say, I'm shoes.
Boot.
I'm boots.
Yeah.
So,
Slippers.
in light to what you brought up, dark does not necessarily define the same definition as black. In actuality, if you look in a dictionary, we should be studying dictionary. I mean, if we're going to use the English language, study the English language. Marcus Garvey taught you that, right?
Yes.
So, and when you study the English language, where do you go to learn the definitions? The dictionary. Now, since I think the 50s, they've bridged dictionaries, which means altered. You need to get yourself an unabridged dictionary, because at the beginning of every every definition of every word, there's something called, there's brackets like this, and then when they're done, there's brackets like this. This is where the etymology of the word. They teach you the history of the word. The new dictionaries cut out that and just give you modern interpretations of whatever it means today. And then in the new edition it changes, and new edition it changes, and through this colored activity, right? The etymology of the word black means pale. Look it up.
And the etymology of the word white means purity and everything good. And
It's
the
white.
ruler.
Which is why the Nigerian Shango priests, they paint themselves in white dust, and it's not race. It's not, racism doesn't exist. It's a manufactured, strategic plan to break us apart.
So there is such thing as a black person and a white person, but not in the context that we think it is, because of seeing who drank from the fountain that had the black thing on it, and then the guy who drank from the fountain that had the white sign on it. That's not the concept of what black and white means. That's why Rosa Parks sat at the front of the bus, because she's not a black person.
It's a person.
She's a person.
And that's what she said, no, I'm a person. They're like, why?
And that's how far we're coming from till today.
Scene.
Right.
Scene.
And prior, because all this goes back to 1492.
Well, yeah, well.
When they took away.
Even before that too.
Yeah, most
Even
definitely.
it's 3,000 years
Most definitely.
Blood, sweat, and tears, man. Yeah.
Probably more. I would say
Even more.
7,000 years.
Right. Right.
You see?
7,000 years of continuous attack
Yep.
on our African kingdom.
Right.
Whether it's Moor, whether it's Ashanti, whether it's Wallow, whether it's whatever.
There's been attacks by
Always,
foreigners.
all for 7,000 years.
Right.
Yep.
Right. But the But the issue,
Because remember, we got pushed from the Hindu Kush
right?
all the way back to Persia.
Right.
Got attacked from Persia again, pushed all the way back to Babylon.
Right.
Got attacked from Babylon, from the same Wahhabis too.
Right. So we don't need
No.
to we don't need to really verify that we've been attacked.
No,
It's
no,
7,000 years of
it's 7,000 years
Yeah.
of history can tell you that.
It's
So
clear.
so the
It's clear.
objective of a struggle is to eventually not struggle anymore. But what do our people say? Well, yeah, we're struggling is what
Well,
we do.
the struggle, you see, the struggle
Right.
can't stop because from, as you don't say, our people is miseducated, diseducated
Right,
by thinking of black and white.
right,
That whole concept,
yeah,
you know, that's diseducated.
Right.
Then the law, again,
it comes up. Because
the law back. The law is one of our biggest, it's one of our biggest problems.
How were the Zulus, the Shona, and the other indigenous tribes of South
The Matabele people?
Africa be denationalized? What was the process they were put through? Apartheid.
Well,
Negroes, blacks, colors, making classification distinctions. Nothing to do with the skin tone. These are statuses in which they slip you in, or that if you claim to it. So that's why apartheid is the tool. It's being used right here. Before it was used there. But we somehow don't recognize it because we've now taken on the emotionalisms to these things because James Brown says we're
no,
black.
you know what the problem is? The slave master.
Teachings and stuff like that.
But what was the intelligence of the slave master was
The pit us against
instead
the
of me do it, I'm gonna let you
Well,
whip him.
Yeah, but I think
That was the intelligence.
That was intelligence.
So he's not liable now. He could just sit in the back, give you the whip, and just sit in the back and just look at you, and you're gonna go whip this dude, and he didn't do nothing to you, and he just sits back
No, but
and
you
reaps,
see-
and reaps all the benefits of our infighting.
yes, but okay, even when that ideology happens, we have to say that as highly conscious people, we must know when that boundary was broken, because we have to get back to the beginning.
Yes.
Because that wouldn't have happened because highest consciousness people know as how the animal kingdoms as well the cycle of life. So if somebody comes and I see it even in a frame of not a difference but of uniqueness, we must adapt, and it has to be this immunity.
Has to be.
Because if we look at each other and we have no reference as you, that is kind of frightening.
And that's,
Yeah, it's like giving
big.
what you call a polar bear a cub from a lion, or vice versa.
Right.
That is frightening for that
Yeah.
mother, you know?
Yes.
But we have come now where we have understanding and
Yes.
empathy in the highest of consciousness.
Yes.
So it had to happen, not in the form as from my perception of overstanding. So it happened, so I know of it, and I can see it from different alignments.
True. You're one. I agree. We have to recognize that we're in that position and not be ignorant. Ignorant means you intentionally are ignoring something.
Yes.
You know it. So what the mother is telling us right now is that's exactly what we need. History.
And okay, so again with reference to the black and white people and the fact that there's different meanings for things that we've been left in the dark about. That's why we're black people. That's why they label us black people. Because we're in the dark about certain things, certain realities.
In the context of
but
light
look
and
at
darkness,
it.
in the
Look at it.
context of
Look at it.
consciousness.